Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures. And no, it's not Friday, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. How old am I? Do the math. 43, I think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure. So yeah, this in front of you, I'm going to have to give a little bit of backstory. This is a true, literally in every sense of the word, true obscurity in literature. And I thought, what better way to celebrate the fact that I've been chugging on both in life and on YouTube and with these books than to treat myself to the Codex Seraphinianus. I think I said that right. So this book is created by Luigi Serafini, obviously up there. Boop. And this is a massive, massive book, not only in content, but in size and in price. Ooh, I didn't pay that much, thankfully. I got a used copy. Like I said, so here is a regular-sized comic book. And you can see here, this is significantly larger. And if you ever want to hear about Squee and Jonan Vasquez's stuff before he did Invader Zim, we can save that for another day. But one thing I want to point out, and like I said, I want to get into the backstory of this. When I was a kid, there was a book at my great-grandmother's house called Dynamics of Change. I'll never forget that name, and I'll never forget the cover of it. I want to say it was written by Don Fabun, F-A-B-U-N. I'll put it down there in the comments if you really want to track down a copy of it. And it stood out to me because, number one, I was really young at the time, and it was obviously written in vocabulary far above my comprehension. But the pictures in it were so vivid and surreal and different and strange. It left me with this really uneasy feeling. Like it was like I was on the cusp of something profound, but I just couldn't reach it yet. And this book gave me a very similar feeling. Why don't you take a look at the little tagline there? So, yeah. Do you guys feel the same way? I do. This is really interesting. This book, if you want to call it that, it is a book, obviously. It has a cover. It has pages. It has a spine. It has, somewhere, Library of Congress and all that jazz. But then there's the introduction. I'll give you a moment to go ahead and read that. That makes sense, right? So here's the crazy thing about this book, is it's entirely written in a language that doesn't exist. Growing up, having read the old Richard Scarry books that kind of give you the vocabulary, of all the various things that you come across, like the Time Life books kind of going over the world around us. This book gave me such similar vibes. Obviously, it's not set in our reality, but it is very similar. And like I said, it reminded me so much of that Dynamics of Change in that it seemed like there was something really profound there in front of me, and trying to decipher it before I really had the tools or the knowledge to understand what I was reading. And I know that was actually the author's intent, was to create a book that would evoke a similar feeling that a child would have looking at a book for the first time and trying to make meaning of the text that they see on the page. And, as someone who's studied language in school, in grad school, who's taught language and the acquisition of language, it amazes me. And this book is so absolutely massive. And there will be sections in here where literally there's no pictures even. At least most pages, there's something trying to be explained. But then we'll go into like all this hierarchy and pedagogical stuff. It doesn't actually exist. I'm not even sure if the page numbering actually works out into there's no cipher or anything. It's entirely, I don't know, maybe there is. Just loops and scribbles and lines and dots everywhere. And you've got like these charts and templates everywhere. And it's fun just flipping through this book every time I look at it. trying to decipher what exactly was the intent of that page. I mean, there's absolutely tons and tons of nonsensical stuff in this book. But, you know, like I said, that feeling you have as a kid when you're looking at things that are beyond your understanding and trying to decipher it and understand what you're looking at is really what's going on with this book. And that's not even to really even touch upon the quality of the art. The art is amazing, and there's so much of it. Like I said, there'll just be pages of expository text here for God knows what. I have no idea. And that's half the fun of it. I know my son, when he was little, used to flip through this when I first got it. And it's been tucked away on a shelf because it freaked him out. There's some weird stuff in this. But it was cool. The first time he saw it, he had no idea what he was looking at. He's like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. We have like all these various patterns, the things that fall out of and above the rainbow. And they're all categorized here in their various squiggly shapes. We have like things on the various cultures that exist within this world. There's like science breakdowns. There's various food sources where animals live. So this really reminds me, we used to have a Time Life book that was probably my great-grandmother's as well, and every page had just like pictures of, you know, life on Earth or something like that, and it would start off in, you know, the Precambrian and progressively move up into modern animals and stuff, and every page would have piles and piles of animals all over it, and you'd have to sit there and identify what everything was. And, you know, obviously before I could really read, I remember just pointing everything out that I knew. Shoelace snake. It's just weird. It truly is. I don't know, these are supposed to be like folk tales or something. Again, it's just like trying to decipher what we're looking at. Beats me. I believe this is where we get into the biology section. We've got like crazy math formulas worked out here. The amount of time that the artist / author must have spent going over this stuff, it blows my mind. Yeah, we're looking at like stuff in a microscope, I guess. Sometimes when I look at medical diagrams and textbooks, I get the same feeling. This is the machinery section. Industry. Just bizarre stuff. The amount of imagination going on in this book. Diseases. I hate when I have my eyes break in a nest and have little glasses fly out. So here we go. We get into the various cultures and all of their background information that's been written on them. And where they live. And why they have piles of dead animals underneath them and their shadows attached to their feet that are turning green. I don't know. And I mean, the funny thing also is I'm skipping over large chunks of this thing. This, honestly, it's at least a couple hundred. I'd say at least 300 or 400 pages. And I mean, this is the kind of book that every time I look at it, there's something new to check out. And ponder just what I'm trying to look at. All the copious notes here. foods? I'm not sure. Foods or illnesses? I could not tell you. Yes, then we get into this section here on clothing. I couldn't tell you what any of it means. Various locales. I mean, honestly, if you're looking for some inspiration for any kind of element of the fantastic, you're sure to find it in this book. It is out there. So again, this is just something I'd love to pull off the shelf. I got it about a year ago, coincidentally, on my birthday. It was a birthday gift to myself, and it was one of those things that I thought, if I could keep doing these videos on books, I've got to do this. That was my goal, and I did it, and I'm happy about it. And now I'm going to bid you all a fond farewell, because I'm going to go enjoy my birthday. I am going to go paint and lounge around since I don't have to be at work. I'm going to go have hopefully a nice and delicious dinner of Indian food and spend some time with my family and hopefully just have an awesome day. If you're interested in acquiring your own edition of this, believe it or not, I will put a link below for Amazon. They do seem to get used copies every now and then. But more interestingly is there is a 40th anniversary of this book coming out. Originally it came out in 1981. And it's supposedly going to have at least 15 new illustrations by the original author in there. So if that sounds like something you're curious about, do keep an eye on things. It's supposed to come out in September of 2021. So if you're watching this past that, you might want to go take a look for that. Otherwise, good luck in your hunts, good luck in your endeavors, and I'm going to go enjoy my birthday. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities in Miniatures, and thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.